During the Cold War, American intelligence satellites captured something moving across Soviet waters that made no sense. It was too large to be a normal aircraft, too fast to be a ship. Analysts studied the images again and again, asking one question: what had the Soviet Union built? And this was only the beginning. When American intelligence satellites captured the mysterious object over the Caspian Sea, analysts could not understand what they were seeing. It was too large to be a normal aircraft, too fast for an ordinary ship. The strange machine seemed to belong to neither the sky nor the water. After studying the satellite images again and again, they still could not classify it. The answer was the Ekranoplan, a massive experimental machine created by Soviet engineers. In the West, it became known as the Caspian Sea Monster. It was unlike any military vehicle seen before. Soviet engineers wanted to combine the speed of an aircraft with the carrying ability of a ship. Their solution was ground effect technology. By flying only a few meters above the water, the KM used trapped air beneath its wings to create extra lift and reduce resistance. This allowed the massive machine to move faster than traditional ships while carrying enormous weight. It was a completely new approach to military design, creating a machine that challenged the normal limits of aircraft and naval engineering. To Western intelligence, the KM was not just a strange experiment. It was proof that Soviet engineers were creating entirely new categories of military technology and exploring ideas the West never expected. But the Soviets were not finished. They would turn this strange idea into a dangerous weapon. Western intelligence agencies searched everywhere for Soviet nuclear missiles. They looked through forests, studied military bases, and examined underground facilities, searching for hidden launch systems. But the most dangerous weapon was not hiding where they expected. It was hiding in plain sight, inside something that appeared completely ordinary. The answer was the RT-23 Molodets railway missile system. From the outside, it looked like a normal train moving through the Soviet railway network. But hidden inside was a nuclear missile system designed to disappear among everyday transportation. The idea was simple, but extremely difficult to counter. The train kept an ordinary appearance while carrying a powerful mobile launcher. It could move across the Soviet railway network, constantly changing position and making its location extremely difficult to track. Unlike a fixed missile site, this weapon could not be easily identified or targeted because it was always capable of appearing somewhere new. For Western planners, this changed the strategy of the Cold War. The danger was no longer limited to known military locations. The uncertainty itself became the weapon because the enemy could not know where the missile was hiding or when it could appear. But the Soviets wanted more than secrecy. They wanted speed. For years, Western analysts believed they understood the limits of Soviet aviation. They studied Soviet aircraft and believed they knew what was possible. Then a new aircraft appeared that challenged those assumptions and forced the West to rethink Soviet capabilities. The aircraft was the MiG-25 Foxbat, a Cold War aircraft designed to solve a difficult problem: how to intercept threats flying higher and faster than ever before. The Soviet Union wanted an aircraft that could reach targets beyond the ability of ordinary fighters. The MiG-25 achieved this through extreme speed and extreme altitude, allowing it to operate at heights and velocities that created a major challenge for enemy air defenses. Its interception mission forced Western planners to rethink how they protected their skies and respond to a new level of aviation performance. But the greatest impact of the MiG-25 was not only its speed or altitude, it was the fear it created. Western planners began wondering what other advanced systems the Soviet Union might be developing, and what Soviet technology could achieve next. But Soviet engineers were also chasing speed beneath the waves. For decades, the ocean had always been the enemy of underwater warfare. Water created enormous resistance, making extreme speed beneath the waves incredibly difficult to achieve. Traditional torpedoes faced a natural limit, and every attempt to move faster meant fighting against the force of the water itself. Soviet engineers faced a difficult question. Could a weapon reduce the water resistance pushing against it and move through the ocean in a completely different way? The answer was the VA-111 Shkval, a supercavitating torpedo designed to challenge traditional underwater warfare. Instead of moving normally through the water, the Shkval created a gas bubble around the weapon as it traveled. This bubble reduced contact with the surrounding water, lowering resistance and allowing the torpedo to reach speeds far beyond conventional designs. This technology represented a completely new underwater approach, where Soviet engineers were not simply improving an existing weapon, but attempting to overcome one of the biggest limits of movement beneath the waves. To naval planners, the Shkval represented a weapon that challenged the limits of underwater warfare itself. But one Soviet machine combined all these ideas. The Caspian Ekranoplan had already looked impossible, but Soviet engineers were not satisfied with creating a strange experimental machine. They wanted to take that same idea and transform it into something far more dangerous, a weapon built for combat. The result was the Lun-class Ekranoplan, a flying missile ship concept unlike anything the world had seen before. It combined the speed of an aircraft, the size of a naval vessel, and the destructive power of a missile platform. Using ground effect technology, the Lun flew at low altitude just above the ocean surface. This allowed it to move with aircraft-like speed while maintaining a ship-like size and carrying massive missile firepower. Mounted on top were powerful anti-ship missiles designed to threaten enemy naval forces. Because it stayed close to the waves, it could be difficult for opponents to detect and track before an attack. To Western naval planners, the Lun represented a frightening possibility. This was no longer just another Soviet experiment. It was a new category of warfare, a machine designed to challenge entire naval fleets and change how battles at sea could be fought. The Soviet Union did not just build weapons. It built ideas that forced the world to question what technology could become. The Soviet Union did not just build weapons. It built ideas that challenged the limits of engineering, science, and warfare. Some machines flew above the ocean. Some disappeared inside ordinary trains. Some pushed beyond the boundaries of air and water. The Cold War was not only a battle of armies.